everyone, welcome back. Welcome to day 2 in my 12 days of palettes series, and today's palette is actually a new palette. This was my first time using it, and it's the new Tartelette Full Bloom palette. I've had this for a few weeks and I wanted to save it and use it for this video. So that is the palette we're going to be using today. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe, but let's go ahead and get into day 2 of my 12 days of palettes. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the eyes, and I'm personally really excited about this palette. I know a lot of people were not super excited, but I personally think this is a really beautiful palette. So you've probably seen it, but this is what it looks. It's very large. This is what it looks like. This is right up my alley. I know a lot of people were saying this is boring. I don't think it's boring at all. So I wanted to use it for the first time with you guys today. So many things to use in this palette. I don't even know what colors I'm gonna go for, but the first color I'm gonna use is this cream, which is called Magnolia. So I'm taking that cream shade and I'm just literally gonna put this all over my eye. Sometimes I don't reach for my large palettes, but I feel like I will reach for this one because this is just the kind of thing that gets me excited. I love neutral eyeshadow, you know? Okay, that shade is really nice. That shade, Magnolia, very pigmented for a cream. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this shade. This palette is so big. It's called Optimistic. Just kind of a neutral brown matte. There is a good bit of kickback in the pans when I'm using these, just FYI. I know some people don't love that, but it doesn't really bother me. So I'm going into my crease with this and kind of pulling it up into the brow and kind of pulling it out as well. Okay, that shade is really pretty. I'm just using a really large, fluffy crease brush for this shade from What's Up Beauty. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna go more cool toned, more warm toned. I'm not sure. There's a lot of purples in this palette and some pink and then just some really pretty neutrals. All right, I kind of want to use one of the purples in the palette. So there's so many pretty ones, I can't even decide. It's really hard to hold this palette because it's so large. So I'm gonna go into this shade, which is called Renew. It's a purple, but a little more of a taupey purple. And I'm gonna add this to my outer corner and just kind of bring what's left slightly up into the crease. Yeah, this shade has a good bit of kickback in the pan as well. I don't think the original Tartelette in Bloom has much kickback, although I could be wrong. I don't really remember noticing that about it, but I might be wrong. I'm gonna add a little bit more on this side. All right, then I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Lotus. It's a shimmery purple. I think I'm gonna try my finger with this. So that is shade Lotus. And I'm just gonna tap this kind of on the outer half of my lid. little bit more, I would say, of a metallic satiny shimmer, not like one of those reflective looking shimmers, but the color is pretty. I either want to use Cherry Blossom, which is here, or Freesia, which is here. Freesia is a little more of like a neutral shimmer. Cherry Blossom looks like kind of a light pinky shimmer. I think I'm gonna take Freesia. Ooh, that color looks really pretty. And I'm gonna put that all over. Ooh, I love that color. That color spoke to me immediately when I saw this palette. I just think it's such a pretty metallic-y shimmer. Okay, and then, so hard, I want to use so many shades in here, but I don't want to use too many. I think I might take a little bit of this shade in the corner called Witty. It's just a little bit, it's a brown, a little more of a cool toned brown though. And I'm gonna add this to the crease where we put that first shade that was Optimistic. We're gonna put this kind of over that. All right, for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into the first shade, which was Optimistic. Ooh, you guys, I just saw, I literally have glitter fallout all over my under eye. Oh, like a lot of fallout. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to clean this up. I don't know if you can even see it, but a lot of it fell down. I think it was that Lotus shade. Okay, I have no idea how to go about getting this off, but I'm just gonna try using a clean brush, see if I can wipe some of it away. Okay, that helped a little bit. Okay, so that got most of it. Keep that in mind though, if you use some of these shimmers with your finger, you might want to use like a glitter glue or something underneath. I never used the palette before, so next time I would. But, because that was a good bit of glitter that fell on my face. But we're gonna go into Optimistic, which is right here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of that on my lower lash line. And then I was gonna say I'm gonna put a little bit of that Lotus shade, but I think that's what caused all that fallout, so I don't think I want to do that. Now I'm gonna go into this purple. That one was Renew, so we put that kind of in our outer corner, and I'm gonna put this on the outer half of the lower lash line. And I think that's it. I might try to take this really light shimmer called Sun-Kissed, and I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. And I think that is gonna be it. So, I mean, this is a really pretty eye look so far, but we'll see how it looks once I get mascara on and everything, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on this palette. But I do like this look so far, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, and then we will finish up the video. And this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to give a few thoughts on this Tartelette in Full Bloom palette. I keep calling it the Tartelette in Bloom palette, but it's the Full Bloom palette. This is beautiful. If you are a neutral palette lover and you just want them all and you like the Tarte eyeshadow formula, I think this is a beautiful palette, but it is super neutral, obviously. If these are not really something you get excited about, if these colors are not really your thing, I would probably skip it. To me, the shadows blended really, really easily. I had no trouble blending at all. So I do think the formula is nice. There is the kick up in the pan, just so you know if that bothers you. That is true pretty much with every shade that I tried. So just keep that in mind. And before I started filming this outro, I was looking up close. I still have glitter kind of stuck under my eyes in my inner corner, mainly because I didn't put a lot of powder there. If I had really set my under eyes with a good bit of powder, it might have been easier to get rid of it, but I didn't. I used just a tiny bit of my Pat McGrath powder and that was it. So I think some of the glitter kind of stuck there. So if you're going to use the glitter shades, I would say use a glitter glue or do your eyes first. I would probably just do my eyes first, honestly, when I use it again. But other than that, I do think this palette is beautiful. The only thing, which I knew when I bought it, obviously, is it's huge. So I typically don't reach for my larger palettes, but I wanted this one so badly that I bought it anyway. But that's something to keep in mind. If you have a ton of neutral palettes and you're just going from like a practicality standpoint, you probably have these colors in other palettes. But I know if you're like me, even if I have these colors in other palettes, it doesn't stop me from wanting it. So I do like it. If this is your kind of eyeshadow palette, I do think it's pretty. And I really like this really neutral kind of purpley eye look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I hope you'll subscribe if you're new. I would love to see you again. Also, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair01. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of my 12 days of palettes. Remember, simply be you. Bye.